Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Laura Bitner from TERRA, and we're getting our hands all dirty. I can't keep my hands out of the soil right now because
it feels so good.
It does. It's got that nice coolness to it, the good earthy smell. And so we're at that time of year where we can get that beautiful sort of Easter-looking planter out, that spring planter outside. But of course, we have to watch the temperatures because we're all over the map with temperatures.
Yeah, exactly. And if we're in for a frost, we definitely don't want them outside because they can take a bit of a beating from that.
Oh, they don't like that at all, do they?
No, they don't. So I would say, you know, keep an eye out for about 4 degrees. Anything below and anything below that is a no-go.
Okay.
But also keep an eye out for clear skies, because often clear skies we get a frost more so than in cloudy skies.
Okay. Yes.
So
right, because the skies are open, and it's generally when those open, cold, those days generally cooler as well, because you don't have that blanket of cloud cover,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. So we're creating some planters that can be put outside during the day, again, brought in at night, and we have so many beautiful things here that smell wonderful. I don't know if you smelled the hyacinth,
oh, can I
Leslie,
ever? They
but
smell so beautiful.
they smell good. So color is endless at this time of year.
Yes.
Really, we want to just make things as colorful as possible and choose things that make us happy. So what I've done is collected some groupings of plants and put them together outside of the pot to see what they'd kind of look like inside the pot.
Right.
Now, I may have chosen a few too many to go into the pots, but
we're showing variety and we show what we have here, right?
And you can never have enough color right now at this time of year. So of course we have our daffodils, our hyacinth, the beautiful ranunculus, this orange guy here. Oh, they are one of my favorites.
I love the variety. Like, there's so many petals just laying on top of each other.
It's incredible. Really here it is in red over here.
Very, very so
tulips, of course. So really, we want to just choose what makes us happy, what looks good. Oh, this one I'll save for a minute. Put that guy in a minute. So we have our planters. Now this one here is just a plastic, what we call liner. So this would be something that you would do up and then drop into a more decorative pot or a cast iron urn, that kind of thing. So we're going to dress them both up. This one is ceramic, and this one can go right outside. Don't drop it into anything. It just looks good on its own.
But I guess you have to think about, if you are, worried about cooler temperatures, that, you need to have a pot that you can actually physically pick up.
Yes, this is true.
If you are planning on doing it for, a few weeks to, a month or so of that in-between weather.
Just a few days, we'll say.
But again, I guess one other thing you're also considering, not only with color and groupings, is getting a variety of height as well, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting that obviously from the daffodils.
Height and different layers, and so. And we've got a couple other things to go in as well. Okay, so we put our daffodils in, and of course we already have soil in the pot here.
Yeah.
So we just kind of pack those guys in, and again, once you really want to pack it full, like spring is such a short season that we want to just put as much as we possibly can into this planter, get as much wow as possible, and then it will be done, and we will move on to our summer planters.
Right.
Because that will be coming eventually.
Yes.
This winter hasn't felt like it, but it is coming eventually.
It's just been stretching out.
So we've got our pink hyacinth.
So pretty. This is really the epitome of spring, though. When you're looking at these, the colors and the smells, it's just, it really is. This is spring in a basket right here.
It is, for sure. Oh, dear. Look at those beautiful roots on that guy. He's a good one. So there we go.
So pretty.
Squish them in a bit there. Then we will take our ranunculus, as I was saying, and throw him in. The ranunculus is a he today. So come around front here. So yeah, I like to choose my plants and play around with them before I actually put them into the pot to see kind of what color I want where and what plant I want where.
And that's the thing, it's amazing how certain seasons you'll be stuck on one color for a while, and then all of a sudden your mind will just change.
Yep.
You'll just, like this spring, like I'm just standing around looking at flowers here, and I'm like, all of a sudden I think I want this color scheme instead.
Yeah,
or,
and things that you maybe wouldn't even think of inside your home.
Yeah.
Oh, you can do anything outside, basically.
And we're seeing so many different colors, like very bright colored pots now, and planters that really they become part of the show as well, right?
Yeah, they sure do.
Very pretty.
So there we go. We want to
And again, you're
Get
seeing all
lost
the
in
height
there.
variances, as you say, and you get different textures and colors.
And the hyacinth, they are so fragrant that once you put them near a walkway or something, people walk into your house, maybe brush by it, and then they can smell it, and your house says spring.
That's gorgeous. Love it.
So we'll move this guy over here a little bit.
Okay.
There we go. And we'll start on our, what we call, again, drop-in. So Leslie, do you want to grab some of the plants there? And again, we'll start with the taller daffodil.
Yeah, I'll let you do it.
Thank you.
Since you're way dirtier than I am
Yes.
right now.
That is, during the winter, you forget what it's like to have dirt under your nails,
Yes, it's
and
true.
even in the little cracks of your fingers. But,
Exactly.
so we'll put him in
In
there.
terms of drainage as well, obviously with that you've built that right into the pot. What type of drainage are you having in there?
So with this one, there is a little hole on the bottom of this pot, so it
that
will drain.
That's fine.
Again,
Just
if you're
putting
bringing
directly soil in there.
Yes, yeah. This one has drainage too, but you're definitely right, Leslie. You want to make sure that your pot does have some drainage to watch for. But also with that, you want to watch that you're not, if it does have holes, that you're putting it on a saucer or something, so that again it doesn't make
that whole thing of
that
bringing
big
it
a mess.
inside.
There we go. Beautiful purple tulips.
Gorgeous.
Oh yeah, and we've got yellow tulips, orange tulips, beautiful stuff.
Yep. Some of those pretty frilly little
What
orange
else we
ones
got
as
over
well.
there?
What would you like?
Some white hyacinth.
Yeah, I'm thinking
would
that
be
too.
good. Thank you.
And again, obviously, this is something that you can just buy, the drop-in, as you mentioned, or the pot directly, and do this all at home yourself.
Yeah.
Also, that we do have planters here that are already done.
Yes,
Right?
we do.
So
We
that's
have
kind of nice. It's
tons.
like, hey, I like that one.
Yep, exactly.
That's always good too.
And
of course, you can make your own here as well. Get to kind of pick out your plants, and you guys can put it together.
oh
for us,
yeah, 100%. Yep. So I'll throw
I like
him
this
in
one.
there.
Maybe I'll buy this one, Laura. Thank
there
you.
you go. No problem. Custom made just for
This
you.
is perfect.
And maybe let's try the red ranunculus.
Yeah, let's do this.
That's that one? Yep.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Now, other fun things that we can do with our planters is, oh, look at that. Looks
Gorgeous.
good. So we could get these stick
yes.
type things, which are just right here.
Yeah.
So we can put them in as is, kind of give it some height in that way. But we also can play it up a bit. And I hope I don't break this as I do this.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you guys know I love when you guys bend them all and do that.
Yep. So we kind of put that guy in
Have
there.
some
that
fun
one's
with it,
good.
right?
Let's go farther up here. A bit like that. Yeah, I have been known to
Oh,
snap
don't forget
a few.
this guy too, just before we go, Laura,
Yes.
because you liked him.
I
He's all
do.
dirty. Get him
It
in
is
there.
the orange windmill. There we go.
Awesome.
Yeah, just little fun things that.
Thanks, Laura.
My pleasure.
Very good job. Put that up front. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Terra at Home. When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
Heritage Perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. I'm here with Trevor from Ancaster Cycle, and we are finally in our fun season. We always know this time of year weather comes and goes, and it's all over the place, but we at least know summer will come. at some point. So we are talking about getting that bike out, dusting it off, and if you haven't had a chance to get it out just yet, we're going to talk about some of the things we need to think about when you're pulling that bike out after a very long winter.
A very long winter.
Yes. So where should we start?
Okay, so when we can finally get our bikes out and going for the year, we just don't usually take them out and ride them, because at that point there we want to make some quick checks. You're going to check the sidewalls in here, and you're going to see that they're either cracked and they should be replaced, or they're not cracked, and you're going to pump them up and off you go.
Okay.
So you're going to pump them up to the pressure recommended in the tire. Every tire does have its own individual rating depending on what the tire is used for. You're also going to take this time to give your wheels a spin. So you're going to pick up the bike, or you're going to turn it over, and you're going to spin the wheels. And when you're spinning the wheels, you're going to look to make sure that a couple of things, that the wheel's turning. Nothing worse than, it's hard enough to get out and ride.
Sure enough.
If you're riding with the brake on, it makes it that much harder. So
Right.
you're going to give a wheel a spin, and they both should spin about the same. The front will always spin longer than the back, because this cluster of gears back here is going to slow things
Holds it back
down.
a bit. Okay.
At that point there, if everything's spinning good, you're going to flip the bike back over, and you're going to take the opportunity in the tires to look for maybe something that's in the tires. You've run over, you picked up a piece of glass last year, a staple, a thorn. At that point, you're going to, take it out, determine if it needs to be repaired further than that. After that, at that point there, I like to make sure everything's tight. Nuts
Right.
and bolts work loose over a period of time.
You don't want to lose a piece as you're out in your first ride.
No, and a terrible thing to go wrong is for handlebars to come loose.
Oh, goodness.
It's a simple thing. You need basic tools, but by simply making sure all these nuts and bolts are snug and tight, I always like to stand in front of the bike and put the front wheel between my legs and give the handlebars a turn. And that's a pretty good indicator. If it turns in your hand, you need to get it tightened up.
Okay.
If you tighten it up and it's still not tight, then you probably need to have somebody look at it at that point. I want to make sure my seat is tight. I want to make sure my seat is level. Okay, as these come loose, well, all our weight's back here, so through the summer, your seat starts to do this. Not a very comfortable ride, so you want to
No.
make sure that's level.
Right. Okay, and also, of course, the braking system, which we have this really cool fancy bike here right now, but so this braking system is a little bit different than the average bike that we used to see.
Yes, this bike has disc brakes on it. So what the disc brake means is that there is a rotor down at the center hub, and your caliper that covers that has two brake pads in it, similar to what a motorcycle does,
Right.
a sled. And when you apply the brake lever is when it pulls that brake pad onto the rotor, slowing down and stopping the bike. So it is a newer system. You'll see bikes now at around the $400 mark and up will, for the most part, have these brakes on them. If they're a mountain bike, a hybrid, a sort of a city bike. The old conventional style, the rim brake, they work great, but again, you have to check for the pads worn out. Are they worn down? Are they hitting the rim properly? If they're not hitting the rim properly, they're not going to stop.
Okay. All right. So those are the basics. Obviously, there's lots of bits and pieces. So I think one thing for people to remember is that, go to a well-accredited shop just like such as yourself. You could take the bike in, and you guys will do everything. Right. And then that way, you're getting a bike that's ready to roll.
Yes.
And you're not going to all of a sudden lose something or something's going to fail
the,
on you.
the basics you can do.
Sure.
We're a firm believer. You get what you need. Don't,
Yeah.
If you don't need the bike to be tuned up, if it just got tuned up at the end of the year and it just needs air in the tires, that's great. But if something's not right that you can't fix with a couple of turns of a screwdriver or putting air in the tire, maybe it's time to bring it in and have it assessed and have it tuned. A bike's
Sure.
like a car.
Well, and it's good to also learn how to maintain your bike on its own as well, just in case you are out on a long distance ride, depending on what you're doing, whether you're mountain biking or road biking. It's good to know how to do some of the emergency
Exactly.
fixes
A flat tire.
here or there. Exactly. A flat tire is a big one.
Yeah.
That you do need to know how to take care of your bike a little bit on your own as well, right?
Yeah, well, flat tire ends your ride. So the ability
Yes.
the ability to have a spare tube and a couple of tire levers is the difference between walking
Big deal.
and riding.
Exactly. This very, very important.
Very.
Have to have this,
Yes.
right? Because things happen, even if you're the best rider, just as we know with motorcycles, riders as well. Sometimes it's not you, it's the other guy. So you gotta protect your head.
Gotta have a helmet
And
on.
you
Yeah.
gotta have a good helmet. So different levels of helmets as well.
Yeah. So this helmet here is a helmet by a company called Giro. So there's many different manufacturers of helmets out there. This is one of the big ones. We carry Bell and Giro helmets. 2 different fits, and it's the reason we carry a couple of different makes. So if all our heads were the same shape, it'd be really easy. We'd carry one helmet in different colors, but
Right.
you have different fits of helmets. The helmet has to fit the head, and that's why a helmet is one thing that is very important that you should have fitted by somebody that knows what they're doing.
That's the thing, because there are a few important components that you need to think about when you're putting on that helmet, right? And it's so important, especially for children, and you get that on your head, and if it's sitting back too far or if it's going to just fall off, and sometimes kids will complain they don't like it too tight up under their chin, but it needs to be there. So there's a lot to think about. So that's something that you could do here at the shop with you guys, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, everybody that works here, and should in most bike shops, should be able to fit a helmet.
Okay, and that's good, because again, it's also making sure these straps here fit as well under the ears,
Yeah,
right?
you're looking for that V in the strap. You're looking for a finger, in
Under
between,
here.
which most kids don't like. But you want to get a finger in there, because if you can get this in there, it's not going to stay in your head if you're hit.
Because we have to think about impact, right? We have to think about the actual situation.
Exactly, and the helmet has to fit properly. It has to fit all around the head without pinching in one area.
And so basically, all around cycle shop, all kinds of different components, because there are some people that are so serious about riding that they need even more beyond this. There's lots of little bits and pieces of things that,
Everything. You can buy a $300 bike, and you can buy a $10,000 bike.
Wow, you guys have a $10,000 bike?
Not 10, but we have 4. 4
Cool.
is about our limit here.
Yeah, but you know what? This is some people's mode of transportation now that we're getting into that season.
Yes.
It's so cool that people will switch over from the car to the bike, and this is what we live for, right? All winter we have to put up with our almost feels like 6 months of winter so that we can get to this season.
You got it.
Yeah, well, thank you for all the information. It's good stuff, and hopefully, we are going to be free from snow for a very long time to come, and hopefully we'll have a really good cycling season.
For sure.
Thanks, Trevor.
Thank you,
Again,
Leslie.
we'll be back with more Terra at Home after this. When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your dreams come true at Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
The Hamilton Spectator. At work, at home, or on the go. Read us online, in print, or download us to your e-reader. Get the Hamilton Spectator any way you want it.
Welcome back to Terra at Home. We're here with Chef Dan Megna from Twisted Lemon in Cayuga, and nice to have you back on the show. So
Great to be
you're
here.
back in our kitchen, and we're making some fish today.
Absolutely. Well, what we're going to do really is we're going to put together a nice tropical salsa. And this is a dish that I put on my feature menu back in late February, early March, because like most Canadians this winter, totally sick of winter.
Right.
I really wanted to bring some of that vibrant, fresh spring and summer flavor out. So we're
Very
going to do
nice.
that with a couple of really cool ingredients, and it's not difficult either.
Okay, very good. So that's the thing with your, let's talk about your menu again, how you do it. You have sort of the feature menu, and then you have sort of your go-tos that
That's
people
right.
just love and don't want you to ever take off the menu, right?
For sure. So we have a core menu that stays consistent all
Right.
year round. We also change up my menu, a feature menu that changes every 6 weeks or so
Nice.
throughout the entire year
That's
based on
fun.
inspiration and product and all sorts of great things.
That's good for those people, those regulars that come and are like, well, what are you doing now?
It sure is.
Right? Okay, so, all right, so where are we going to start here?
Okay, so we're going to make a mint, blood orange, and lychee salsa.
Cool. Something, again, just a little bit outside of the box that people aren't thinking about at home on their own.
Absolutely.
When it comes to salsa.
So first thing we need to do is we're going to take some nice vine tomatoes. You do what you can to try to get some stuff that, I mean, in the summer and in the spring, your tomatoes are going to be great. Just try to find the ripest ones that you can.
Right.
Now I'm going to quarter these, and I'm going to cut the seeds and the guts out, and that is really important because
How easily you did that.
I've done this from time to time. Don't
Done
ask
it
me
a
to
few
try to
times,
fix your
have you?
computer.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut the seeds and the guts out. And the reason for this is that I don't want this salsa to get any sort of soupier than it has to be.
Right,
I'm
because
going
of
to
the water
add liquid
content.
in. I don't want all of the tomatoes to actually be the liquid. So I'm going to
Okay.
take this, we're going to dice this up. So we'll slice it, take each one of these petals, slice them into some long strands or julienne, and then I'm going to turn it and we're going to slice these and dice them fine. Now this is a nice salsa because you're getting a nice sweetness, but you're also getting a little bit of acidity from these tomatoes as well.
Okay. And that's the thing, you know, as a chef, you're always trying to balance everything, right? So that's what gives you all those different types of the flavor profiles, right? When you know you have something, you add some acidity to it, just to, in general, we just think, wow, that tastes really good, but it's because of the science behind it.
Well, let me tell you, you're miles ahead of a lot of people because it really isn't necessarily about the ingredients as it is as much as balancing those ingredients. So I've got a little bit of fresh tomato. I'm going to take some red onion. Now this has a little bit of heat to it as well. It's not quite as mild as a shallot or a yellow cooking onion. It has some nice flavor to it and it has a little bit of spice. So we've got some tomato, some onion. I'm going to take some mint and I'm going to just give this a rough chop. I don't want this to be too fine. I want to taste the mint. I also want to see the mint.
Okay.
So we're going to just add this mint right in there.
Okay.
With a little bit of these lychee. Now this lychee is a nice, it's stone fruit. It's in syrup. You can see them here. They come in a can. They're really sweet, very sort of tropical style flavors.
They're good in drinks too.
Oh, they sure are. Nothing like a summer martini with lychee in it.
Oh, that's one of my
Okay.
favorites.
Now I'm going to take some of this blood orange. Look at the color that we have in that.
These are so
Isn't that
cool
great?
because everyone varies just a little bit too, don't they, sometimes?
You've got it. So I'm going to now take this and I'm going to peel the skin off the outside and I'm going to cut these into some segments. So I'm going to take the nice flesh out with no rind, no peel, no nothing.
Wow, that seems like a bit of a challenge, but
It really isn't that difficult if you think about it.
you have to get in between those little veins,
That's right. So just get in between, pull out the flesh, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to add some of these right into add these right into my salsa. We're going to season it lightly with a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to put on here some Taz Riesling. Now this is going to be a great pairing for this dish.
So that's the great thing is if you cook with it, you might as well
You got it.
drink with it because obviously it's just gonna work, right?
Salt, pepper. We'll bring these flavors together and just adjust those. Look how beautiful and vibrant that is.
You're
Blood
right
orange,
though, I can see how
lychee.
that just adds color and freshness and fun and makes it feel like it's summer even though
That's
we've been
right.
struggling with that
Makes me
winter
want to
of ours.
drink a martini on the beach somewhere.
Yes, it does.
So we're going to take this and we're going to put this on a nice fillet of flounder. So I have
Okay.
some nice light white fish and
Okay.
we're going to bake this on the fish.
Okay.
And then we're going to put that together with a couple other great components to bring out that summer vibrant flavor.
Okay, so this white fish, very, 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 just a basic flavor, right? Not a strong seafoody flavor, none of that, right?
Very mild,
So
very simple.
what other fish could you use this with? Where could you go with this? Could you use this with a salmon? Because salmon has such flavor to it. I don't know if I'd really want it with that or not.
I would agree.
Yeah,
Honestly,
okay.
with the salmon, I think it's a little bit too it's a bit too oily. It has much more of a richer, fattier flesh.
Right.
This one here has a much milder approach to it. I would go with something like you could very easily use sole.
Okay.
Orange roughy is also really nice for this as
sure,
well.
that sounds
If you
good.
want some tilapia is also spectacular with these flavors because
Okay.
it is mild and very light.
Okay, now last time you were on the show, we did scallops. Could you use it with scallops?
Oh, now you're talking my language. Because
Okay.
if you were to do something like a nice citrus scallop ceviche, this salsa just topped on top of that
Yep.
would be gorgeous.
That's what I kind of feel
Absolutely
like that
gorgeous.
would be really, that would work very well. Very nice. So again, just what we'll do is we're going to obviously prepare this fish
Yep.
and we're going to put it in the oven. How long are you putting in the oven for?
Well, with about a 6-ounce fillet, topped with this salsa, it's only going to need to be in the oven for approximately 8 minutes at about 350 degrees.
Okay.
Nice and low, not too hot. You don't want to burn it. You want to bake those flavors right in.
Okay, that's a great part about fish is that it cooks very, very quickly. So you have to make sure you have everything else ready to go
That's
to
it.
accompany it, right? When
You
you're
got it.
if you're putting together a whole meal. All right, so what we'll do is we will take that break and we'll come back and we'll put this all together and make it look oh so pretty. We'll be right back. When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of TERRA. Make your dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're back with Chef Dan from Twisted Lemon in Cayuga, and we're finishing up our beautiful dish here, a nice fresh fish. And well, you take it away. What did we do? We got lots going on.
So we took that nice lychee mint blood orange salsa and we baked it right on top of our gorgeous flounder fillets. So I've got these nice fillets here, and that salsa has been baked right on top. So what I'm going to do to finish this is I'm going to take some of these beautiful pea shoots, which are nice and sweet, nice and crisp, and you can see I'm literally cutting these right off of the plant. It doesn't get any fresher than this. We're going to line our plate. Now this is a Himalayan pink salt plate, which is very cool. Lots of color, lots of fun flavors to play with, because it's actually, when you heat it up, it will add some seasoning to this incredible, these pea shoots. Now I'm going to take some, this is a blood orange black risotto, and I'm going to place that right on my pea shoots.
What a cool dish.
I've got some bok choy, which is seasoned and buttered. I also, with this beautiful bok choy, have some grilled hearts of palm, which I'm going to sit right on the side of this plate here as well.
Okay.
Take our flounder, which has been baked with our blood orange, lychee, mint salsa, and we're going to put a nice little dehydrated orange wheel on there, and that screams summer.
It does. It's beautiful. It's a heavy dish, isn't it?
It is. It gives you a bit of a workout.
Heavy as a server having to serve that, but a very light, beautiful dish. And of course, again, we love having your recipes online on our website. So this is so cool at terragreenhouses.com, and it's nice to have a guest chef in such as yourself. So again, we'd love to come and visit your restaurant sometime in Cayuga, a beautiful destination restaurant with some very good food, obviously very beautiful food as well. So
thank you very much. I look forward to spoiling you.
Oh, thank you. I look forward to it as well. Have yourself a great weekend, everybody. That's it for TERRA at Home. When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of TERRA. Make your dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.